Hey everybody, Jake and Gino here coming at you with another Financial Freedom Friday. And today we're talking good money habits. Could be good financial habits as well, but the G-Dad's got the info for us.
So Stenziano, let's tell everybody last week's video, very important. If you didn't listen to it, go listen to it. It's the difference between a poor, middle class, and rich person's mentality. Really important to distinguish what you need to do to become a rich person with a rich person's mentality. This is important because this video is all about good money habits. And by the way, down below, if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the Jake and Gino channel. The first thing with good money habits, we're told that debt is bad, right? If you're a rich person and you want to create really good money habits, learn how to use credit wisely. It's a tool, just like anything else. If you have the self-control and you have the dedication and the discipline, credit can make you wealthy. Right now, we're going into that, I don't want to say a paradigm, but all of a sudden people talk about debt as being an asset. We're getting into an inflationary era right now, and we're seeing that dollars are being printed. If you're borrowing $1 today, if you're paying that dollar back in the next 5, 6, 7 years, you're paying it back with cheaper dollars. So you're buying assets with that debt. I'm not talking about using credit to go out to buy a car. Let's distinguish between luxuries we have in life, which are cars and vacations and homes, and assets. You need to learn how to use credit wisely, and you need to know the difference between using debt for your business and your debt for your personal. You're levering your business assets to pay for your personal lifestyle. That is number one for having a good money habit.
The key here to what Gino's saying is that if you bought a rental property, a multifamily property, and you secure it at a 3% interest rate, okay, and rates go up to 5%, all of a sudden that debt attached to that asset has true value because someone can assume that loan. Okay. And when the market's at 5, you're at 3, it's going to keep the value of your property higher.
Now, Jake, this next one for me was truly revolutionary. If you told me 10 years ago, yeah, do this, it's going to really increase. I've learned one thing. When you focus on something, it tends to grow. Once I started really creating my personal financial statement and actually working on it every month and my net worth constantly, guess what happened? I took control of my finances and my personal financial statement started to grow and my monthly cash flow started to grow. Because once you put focus on it, all of a sudden the money starts not starting to disappear. You know where, like Jake likes to say, all your soldiers are. You know what your assets are. You know how much something is worth. You know what your monthly cash flow is coming in. You need to start creating a personal financial statement and taking care of what your net worth is. Now, if you don't have a PFS, personal financial statement, email me, Gino@jakeandgino.com, and I'll send you over the one that I have. But there's no coincidence that once I started tracking it, and then all of a sudden, 3 or 4 years later, it starts growing. I have to do it monthly because Jake and I, we buy real estate. Our bankers want that. Our PFS is our financial report card. We don't care what we got in gym or English 20 years ago. Bankers obviously don't care about that, but they do care about your personal financial statement and how healthy you are in that respect. So start taking control of it and start filling it out. It's really, really important.
And also, if you guys are already in real estate, a schedule of real estate owned is going to be something that you want to keep updated as well, that shows the assets that you own, when you purchased them, cash flow, debt, et cetera. It's going to be something very important to keep up.
Next one, you need to create a budget. I'll give you a quick story. When I moved down to Florida a few years back, we moved to, new area, new stores. I really didn't have a grasp of what I was spending here. And I've got 6 kids, so I have a big family. So I decided, you know what? I want to know how much things cost down here. So the grocery store across the street, Publix, a great place, but the prices were pretty high. So I would go in there every week and I'm like, $500 this week, $900 the next week. What is it? I didn't have a budget, right? So I said, I'm going to create a budget. So I said, baseline $3,000 a month for groceries. And most people out there are probably horrified. But there's 8 of us, 8 adults, right? I mean, my 10-year-old eats like an adult. So I remember this and going there, and it was like September 23rd. And I hear my son screaming to me, Dad, we just went over the budget. And my wife in the background going, what are you guys talking about? Stop doing the budget. I'm like, well, you see what happens? That led me to say to myself, time out. I'm going to spend 1 day a week going to Walmart and or Costco to cut my bill in half. I took control of where my money was flowing. I saved that amount of money. Can you imagine if you save $500 or $600 a month on groceries? That's another $7,000 or $8,000 or $9,000 a year that you can be putting aside for the same quality groceries. So you create a budget. Once you create that budget, you're going to take back between 15 and 20% of your money, because it's really important. You'll see where that money is coming from. And it's not just about the expenses, it's about your income. And I'm going to mention this one because I know Jake loves this. Look at all of your subscriptions right now. What are your subscriptions on your credit card? With Jake and Gino, we have dozens of them. I mean, you're talking about Adobe, you're talking about Asana, you're talking about Dropbox, Zoom, GoToWebinar. All these subscriptions, are necessary for our business. What are you paying? What do you have? Do you have Disney? Do you have Spotify? Do you need all the subscriptions? It's very important. And I'm going to leave Jake with this. What does SAT stand for, Jake?
Starbucks, Amazon, and Target. And that is that's literally residual reoccurring expense that's on my credit card statement every month, because that's what my life, she likes to do. She's literally, and this is where it gets bad, is now that they put the Starbucks in the Target. So she goes in, she gets the vanilla frappe fupa tupi, and then on to, all the other crap that's in Target. But look, it's not a bad thing. I mean, it could be a lot worse. She's not doing the Gucci and the Prada. So I'm good there. But the Amazon's even worse. She's on the app. Oh, we need 14, different baby carriages that collapse down and do this. So it's like, they laugh, we'll have like painters at the house, and then they're laughing because the boxes are just flowing in every day. But it kills you. But here's the other thing. Look, I think in Gino's case, he's got a big family. He's got 8 in the house. Careful with these bulk stores too, because what happens a lot of times when you do shop bulk, you don't use it all and then you end up throwing it away. So it's like, well, it feels like you're getting a good deal. Oh, look at the price per the unit that I'm buying. In Gino's instance, it makes sense. But for a lot of folks, even for us, I mean, we have 5 in the house. Very rarely will we actually get through anything at like a Costco. So,
and it's very important. Let's go down that rabbit hole. You go to Walmart, you think you're saving money. Those stores are a trap. Target is the ultimate trap.
Target is the ultimate trap.
You go in there, all of a sudden I'm buying some shoes, I'm buying some clothes for the kids. I had a budget of $200, and all of a sudden I'm walking out with $300. A really good money habit, if you really want to be disciplined, is take cash out of the bank and use cash in those stores, because credit cards allow you to pay more money. This is where credit can become dangerous, right? You're walking in, you have an unlimited amount on your credit card. Think about that. Think about those purchases. If you're going in there and you have a budget to spend $200 in the store, stay within that budget. It's really, really important. And I always joke around when we go into Walmart or we go in with the kids, I just know that we're going to spend more money than what I was allocated for. So that's really important.
2 shopping carts come out when you hope for the best. Right?
Yes. The last one, I think, with a good money habit. Next week, we're going to talk about part 2 of good money habits. But this last one, let's discuss why we're saving. And no one ever really discusses why you're saving when you're in the middle class. Well, you're saving for your retirement. You're saving for college education. That's 20 years down the road. We can't even fathom that. That's the problem. We talk about climate change and all these other things. It's not happening right now. It's happening so far from now. I want you to stop and I want you to think, why are you saving money? Jake and I are saving money not to put in the bank to get the bank rich. We're saving money to buy assets. That's what we're saving money for. And that's what I want you all to save money for. Whether you're investing in yourself, in your education, or you're investing in an asset to pay you back. That's why. Don't make saving painful. When we were young, our parents would give us money and they take money away from us and go, oh, I'm going to go to the bank and I'm going to save the money for you. That was painful for us. Link saving to pleasure. Link saving to financial freedom. Link saving to taking control of your destiny. That's what I did. And once I had that realization, I love to put money in the bank. Like I said, what you focus on grows. Once you start putting money in the bank and you start saving and it starts growing, next step is get educated and learn how to invest that money.
Here, what you said is so important. And I just want to break it down a little bit. Understand the money game. The Fed, the government, whatever you want to say, they print money. They print all this money. The money becomes worth less. You save that money, you're losing to inflation. You're actually getting poorer. I'm not saying that you don't want to save the money, but you have to save the money and then put it into a vehicle that's going to keep up with inflation. That's why we like apartments. We're able to basically save some money, put it in the apartment as quickly as possible, keep the cash reserves low. That apartment basically is the same thing. It prints money and we're able to continue to raise the rents to keep up with inflation. So as they're printing money and the money's worth less, we're able to charge more. Thus, we're able to keep up with the game that they're playing. And it's all a game, and you need to understand how to play the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. It is what it is, though. You got to play the game if you want to keep up in this world. So
Love that. Everybody down below, any comments, questions, leave them for us. Hit that like button, and we will see you next week with part 2 of Good Money Habits. Thanks, Jake.
Boom. Thanks, Gino.